This episode was a whole lot about relationships and funny because it was the things about relationships that get on my nerves the most. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for episode 3, season 2 of Real Housewives of Potomac. Like I said, this episode here actually really focused in on relationships, and strangely enough, it focused in on the things about relationships that really irritate me the most. We covered a lot about Robin's relationship with Juan, and we also covered a lot about Monique and her relationship with her in-laws. Not so much her husband, but her in-laws. But we'll get to it. First off, we met another person, which is Gigi, which is Monique's friend. They've been friends for a very long time. I think Monique was even around. I don't think she was in the wedding, but they were friends during, the time that Monique actually did get married to Chris and all of that. She spoke briefly with Gigi about the relationship between her and her mother-in-law and how they used to get along really, really good, but the closer her and Chris got, the more her and the mother-in-law kind of went that way. And I said, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting to see. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So there was a whole thing. She was actually packing because she was going out of town. He was actually being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I believe it was Alabama. So they were actually going to be going out of town. So they were getting everything packed up. Then Gigi actually, there was one thing that stuck out in my head. Gigi actually led on. She knows Charisse's husband, George. I said, oh. And it was just kind of thrown out there. It was just kind of random. And I was like, I'm going to hold on to that. We're going to hold on to that little piece. We're going to put it on under there, and we're going to carry it on. We're going to hold that, because I swear that's probably going to come up later. But anyway, you know how this stuff goes. Next, we actually see Jazelle and Robin. They go to the nail technician together, and they're getting their nails done and everything. And up jumps the devil. Now we're back to that shit that Karen said. And it seems as though now Jazelle and Robin literally are both side-eyeing each other. So we've covered this, and I'm not going to go back through it. And Robin said it again to Jazelle, ease your mind. I wasn't talking about you. I would never do that. I would never sit down and talk about you with any of them. I'm Team Jazelle. But I've told you, and I just said, I just felt like, I didn't like what you did. I didn't care for it, and I told you that. But I didn't call her up and, hey, let's talk about Jazelle. She said, I would never do that. And she's saying that, but in her confessional, she's saying, I just hated it so bad because it bothered me, because I would hope that Jazelle will never do that to me, but I'm not so sure. I don't know. It makes me nervous. I don't want to feel that way, but I do. And Jazelle is like, well, I never thought Robin would talk about me, and now I'm questioning her, and I'm like, this is so crazy, because Karen, you did this. You old, nasty, big heart, titty, mole on the side of the face with the one piece of hair growing out of it, old fucking bitch. You started this. You have literally thrown a stone into their friendship. And for what? What reason did you have? And in another way, you can look at it another way and say, Were they really that close to friends? Because if someone could throw a stone in and fuck it up that easily, what friends were you anyway? But that's besides the point. You old fucking bitch. Misery loves company. You know what I mean? Some old miserable, sad motherfucker. And mentioning that, let's just keep rolling right on into Karen and her daughter, Raven. Okay, so Raven has gone away to college and now she's come back for a visit 30 days in. We saw Raven and we were like, oh, okay, we thought Raven was real cool last season. We're like, probably she really want to get away from Karen, you know what I mean? Now, usually, you know, we say kids are off limits. But Raven is almost an adult. So I'm going and I'm going to let Raven have it. It seems as though Miss Raven is a snob, just like her mammy. When she sat there and said something about them doing a 48-hour sit-in, you know, for the sorority and all of this and that, and then she sat up there and said, oh, we had to eat the most disgusting food. So disgusting. Maybe I'm just used to the things at Potomac, and it was things that I just thought I'd never eat before. And I'm like, well, what the fuck did they ever eat? The earthworms? And it was a cheesesteak. Bitch, really? Really? And Karen had the nerve to say, oh, they got my baby eating a cheesesteak? Sit down, Raven, and we don't need to see about you anymore. And I noticed that you're so motherfucking good that you wanted to tell your mother about how you had to eat a cheesesteak. And then she asked you, were there boys there? Yes, they were there too. She says, well, Mommy don't want to know too much, but you can tell me anything you want to tell me. You didn't want to tell Mommy nothing. You scooted right the fuck on by it. You told her about eating cheesesteak, but you didn't tell her about eating beef. How many dicks were in your mouth at the 48-hour sit-in, Raven? You didn't tell that part. You checked her on the cheesesteak. You better check her on her hot dog count, honey. Fucking bitch. I don't need to see her no more. She turned me completely off. She's a snob, just like her mammy. Get on. Moving the fuck on. Robin and her goddamn kids. Now, I didn't say anything the first time around when I seen them. I seen the little honeys, and they was running, and they weren't listening to Robin. And I was like, okay, so this is just an ongoing thing with them. Your kids are just bad, the motherfucker, Robin, and you just ain't got no control. One word of advice, bitch, get a belt. Get a belt. Fuck all that talking. Fuck all that sitting in corners. Them two need a belt. This is why they listen to Juan, I promise you. Because Juan probably punches the fuck out of them. And that's why they listen to him. The way they run all over you and just be carrying on and they act like little wild dogs, honey. Get you a belt and stop all that talking. And every time they do something, honey, and pop the shit out of them. And I promise you, they'll get to listening to you. They bad the motherfucker. They are bad as hell. I said, oh, look, and then they really didn't listen. They got on my motherfucking nerves so bad. I said, oh, every time I see them in the scene, I said, Girl, you get you a belt, honey. A belt. 1 or 2 slaps, honey, with that belt. It'll get it together. Then, let me get you together. Robin, are you serious? You sat on camera and said you haven't taken your children to the dentist in 2 years. Bitch, you ought to be shaming your motherfucking self. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Who in the fuck doesn't take kids to the dentist for 2 years? 2 years? That's some trifling, nasty motherfucking bullshit. That don't even make no sense. There ain't even no excuse for that. Some people, child, some things are better left to just keep them to yourself, because that's totally the fuck out of order. And then say that your dad is a dentist, so you understand the importance of oral hygiene. Yet you haven't taken these two little monsters that you have to the dentist. Girl, bye. Now, I like you, Robin, but you the fuck out of order, bitch. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so here we go again with all these relationship situations. These kids and people and the way the relationship is set up. Monique, I like you, girl, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of questioning it, but you confuse me, bitch. Because I don't understand. Now, I don't understand. God knows. Anybody who's been watching my channel, you know how I feel about my mother. Okay? It is what it is. It's pretty much all about her. But to say that she said, my husband is everything. My family was everything. But now my husband comes before my family. It's different. Okay, all right, I got you. When that bitch said, it's God, and then Chris, and then my kids, but you done lost your motherfucking mind. You done lost your motherfucking mind, bitch. Who in the fuck says that their husband comes before their kids? You better do some soul searching, sister. Ain't no motherfucking way nothing that you carried in your ass for 9 months that anything or anybody should come before them. I ain't carried nothing because it ain't possible to do. My children were adopted. From the moment that I said I was going to adopt, before the ink got dry on the paper, my children came before every motherfucking thing that was moving, and most of the time before me. How in the fuck you sit up there and say to some man, I don't give a fuck if he was your husband, some man comes before what you created. But you are totally out of order, and you definitely need to do some soul searching. You definitely do. That is crazy. I've never heard of such. Now, and then you said it not once, but twice. Then you said it to him. Big mistake. Big mistake. That just kind of, I don't know, that made me look at her really strange. That's a total, say Sean Bradley, side eye for eternity, bitch. Your husband come before your kids. Please. And then the worker is, just go back and watch this episode. You seen that you don't come before his mother. You don't come before his mammy. Isn't that food for thought? Have a chicken wing. Mess. I said, girl, no ma'am. Now, I will say this, Jazelle, you're jealous. Now, I live for Jazelle. Jazelle, you're jealous of Monique, and it is so ugly, and it's so evident. I didn't know. At first, I was kind of like, She wasn't even there. Wasn't in the scene. Wasn't there. You have a complete disdain for her, and for what? And little Ashley had the nerve to really break it down. And yeah, you're going to have to prove us wrong. But yeah, baby, you come across that you are absolutely wearing the little green monster on your shoulder when it comes to Monique. And trust me, you shouldn't. Because if you really get to know her, girl, go back and watch this episode and see some of her views about things and some of how she carries herself. You wouldn't be jealous because there's no need for you to be jealous of her. It's just material stuff, sweetie. Because the rest of that shit she ain't got together. Anyway, moving on. So there's this whole thing with the Preakness, which is it's like a small version of the Kentucky Derby. It's kind of what I got from it. And they were there. All the girls were actually invited. Robin invited them. They went, and they actually won. They won like $3,000 on a little bet they did with this guy named Dawn. That was a high roller that they went in with, which was very smart. So that was cute. They had a real good day. I got very irritated there because we found Jazelle literally begging Sharice for her forgiveness. Fuck Sharice. You know, I told y'all last week, fuck her. Ain't no way. Fuck her. And she would have been on the fuck you all the way around. Fuck you, bitch. But she, you know, went and, am I forgiven? Are you going to forgive me? And she sat there. I guess. Then got over there that she better watch herself. Whatever. Girl, sit down and watch the episode. You feel a little different about a couple things. You probably feel a little different about Sharice and about Monique. Yeah, you do better being friends with Monique as opposed to being jealous of her and tell Sharice to kiss your fucking pussy. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about Robin's relationship. She went to her hairdresser, even the hairdresser. Everybody knows about Robin and Juan. Robin don't want you saying nothing about her and Juan. I'm really sick of it personally. I think it's very stupid. It looks very stupid. You're running around town, and it's stupid. And everybody knows it's stupid. And everybody who cares anything about you has told you that it's stupid and you look stupid, and you're okay with it. You need to stop talking about it. Stop talking about it to people, and then don't get mad with people because you're the one that put it in all their ears and in all their faces. So you stop getting mad about it. But the shit is fucking stupid. And the whole down thing of it is, for whatever reason, you're afraid. You're afraid to confront Juan about his bullshit. Juan has it going on. You fuck, feed, and take care of Juan. And he doesn't appreciate it. He acts like you owe him. Again, you got your priorities all fucked up. You know? And it's all one side. He don't give a fuck about you. And you know it. That's what the problem is. You know it. You don't get into an argument or altercation with Juan. You don't go back to back with Juan because you know Juan will get up and leave you. And trust me, that'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. But that's why you don't do it. That's why you don't do it. That's why you don't stand up to him and make him accountable for his shit. You don't hold him accountable for a goddamn thing because you know as soon as you say or do anything that Juan doesn't agree with, Juan will leave. Well, let him leave. He's not serving any purpose. Not at all. And I promise you, anything that Juan is doing to you, you can find somebody else to do. You better look in the mirror. You better look in the mirror. Trust me. I don't even care if he might have good penis. I promise you, you can find somebody with one just as good that's probably bigger and longer, honey. He is serving no purpose. You are making an absolute fool of yourself, and you're being miserable for nothing. He gives less than a damn about you. Less than a damn. And the first time, if you stand up and hold him accountable for his bullshit, he's going to walk off and leave you. So all this coddling and eating up all 10 miles of this shit, it's all for nothing. Because one time, you're going to get mad. And he's going to leave you anyway. So, like, girl, get ahead of the 8 ball, bitch. Stop playing the fool. Moving on. Last relationship I want to talk about, because I got on my own nerves with this shit, is the Samuels family all sat down for dinner before they went back to their respective homes. And here's where we actually get to see the mother-in-law and Monique head to head. Well, let me tell you right away, it is so Weezy Jefferson versus Mother Jefferson. Okay? The mother, she don't like Monique at all. Not at all. She is in complete competition with Monique. Okay? She has that complex, that mother complex, like she dating her son, as opposed to being the mother to the son. So, she got a problem about Monique not working, which is none of her business. She got a problem about how the money's being spent, which is none of her business. She said to him, he ought to give me some of that money, which is out of order because he don't owe you a motherfucking thing, mama. She's just out of order. And she sat over there. She had so many little nasty little snide remarks about Monique that it was absolutely disgusting. It really was. It was disgusting to even watch. Who in the fuck do you think you are? But again, Monique, you set that up. You set that up. How you start is how you finish. And if you sit and when you watch this episode back, bitch, you ought to feel some kind of way. You really ought to feel some kind of way. You would be totally right if you never spoke to that old bitch again. Seriously. On national TV, she called herself throwing jabs at you. And then on the show that you brought her in, you brought her up into this. Because we didn't go looking for her. Because nobody knew the fuck she was looking like him. Sat up there, and then the last thing she say on camera, I really got that heifer told, didn't I? Her whole point was to get on national TV and embarrass you. I'd never speak to that old bitch again in life. And he would be able to kiss my ass. And bitch, you got enough kids to make him kiss your ass and kiss it effectively. Absolutely out of order. Absolutely out of order. Now, on the flip side of it, girl, you talk too motherfucking much. You talk too much. You want to be the belle of the ball. You want to be the center of attention. The center of the attention and the center of attraction. You made that whole dinner all about you. Now you're going to sit up on there. No family who has one family member that's doing very well, don't nobody want to hear the world according to Monique and Chris. Don't nobody want to hear that. You got on my motherfucking nerves at that table. I said, she don't shut the fuck up. Shut up. And we just got to see a little prelude of you last week when you were babbling on, when you were with the ladies. And it was a little off-putting, but we got to see you full out in your own environment, in your family environment, and you put yourself up here. You got advice for everybody. Girl, shut up. You're doing too much. Yeah, you're a bit much to handle. A bit much to handle, but you're still cool. You know, you cool, but you got some little things. There's some little ghetto things in you that you ain't walked away from yet that you need to get a handle on. But baby, that relationship with you and your mother-in-law, because you are so ready to kiss her ass. You know, you're so ready to kiss her ass to get along. Fuck her. She's ridiculous. Anyway, well, that's it. The people got on my motherfucking nerves. They really did. And I felt like he should have shut his mother down and get her up off of his wife all like that. Because she's your mammy. Shut her down. See, and that's always my thing when I talk about dating. I'll date you. I ain't dating your fucking family. And I'm not bending over backwards trying to get along with your family. I'll bend over to the side and let your family kiss my motherfucking ass. That's what I'll do. Catch y'all next week.